This is the clubhouse for the magnificent Seawanhaka Rpyal Yacht Club. And this is Oyster Bay, which is a fabulous place to visit and a lovely place to go team racing. This was the second time the Rpyal Perth Yacht Club had sent a team to Seawanhaka's biannual Islands Challenge Regatta. The first time we had great fun and the weather was perfect, as there wasn't a lot of wind some of the time. They sail a digital end course for the Islands Challenge.
The first Rpyal Perth team to visit Seawanhaka didn't do terribly well on the racetrack. We'd done a lot of practice in the intervening 2 years and were keen to see if that had brought us closer to the standard of our hosts. The folks at Seawanhaka made everybody who visited the regatta very welcome, until we met them on the start line, of course.
Our team had a good start in our first race against Seawanhaka and lost the lead on a penalty. But suddenly near the finish line, Chris Hogan's boat 8 worked its way into a good position and my boat 9 was coming home fast. Suddenly, we were a chance.
Well done.
Oh gosh, that was close. The other team in this regatta we'd sailed the last time was St Martin, and we hadn't beaten them that time either. We made another good start in our first race with them, and we were really keen not to lose it this time.
One of the skills that you need to learn in team racing is when to play forward, that is to sail as fast as you can to win the race, and when to play back to maintain the best position you can to ensure that you don't come fourth and lose the race. On this occasion, our boat 9 was playing back on the second boat in the St Martin team to make sure that our second boat, boat 8, did not get back into fourth place near the end of the first part of the first windward work. And it worked quite well. And at the first mark, the Rpyal Perth boats rounded the mark in a winning second and third position. Rpyal Perth boats 8 and 9 worked their way into a strong position about halfway down the off-wind work between marks 2 and 3 and were between their opponents and the next mark on starboard jibe. On the final beat to the finish, the leader, Rpyal Perth 9, takes the St Martin boat 3 to the port ley line. Chris Pye's Rpyal Perth 9's objective is to hold St Martin boat 3 at the port ley line for long enough for Chris Hogan's boat 8 to get across there in front of them. Chris Hogan's boat 8 is able to get a penalty from the other St Martin boat, which makes the Rpyal Perth boat's progression to the finish line much easier. After narrowly losing the first race with Seawanhaka, the Rpyal Perth team was very determined to win the second, but it was very close at Mark 3. The leading Seawanhaka boat slowed down her approach to the mark on starboard jibe so that she might catch the leading Rpyal Perth boat, Chris Pye's number 9, on port jibe at the mark. In umpired teams racing, a boat that might have infringed has got 5 seconds to decide whether to take a competitor-inspired one-turn penalty to exonerate herself, or to take the risk and wait to see if the umpires penalise you, in which case you'd have to take 2 full turns. 2 full turns take you out of the race, 1 full turn keeps you in. Royal Perth decided to take 1.
They took their own penalties, so they didn't get a double. Look.
With boats in 2nd and 4th place at Mark 4, Royal Perth weren't winning, but our second boat was close enough to make sure we were still in the race, and then the teams settled down for a war of attrition to the finish. Team racing is an intense one boat on one boat or 2 boat on 2 boat duel most of the time. But that doesn't mean it's not still a normal yacht race in which you have to look out for shifts and better pressure. In this race, Royal Perth 9 notices better pressure on the right and takes off towards it. That achieves 2 things. It splits the other team, and it gave Royal Perth 9 a chance to make a gain and come back on starboard tack, giving her a chance to catch the other opposing boat on port. Team races are very dynamic, and in the beat to the finish line, when all the boats are close together, small mistakes can make big differences. And now Royal Perth are 2nd and 3rd and in good shape, and the leading Seawanhaka boat has to do something to upset their progression to the finish line. The crew on Seawanhaka 5 are trying to place their boat in exactly the right place so they can impede the progression of Royal Perth 9 and pull their own boat through into 3rd place again, but they get a little bit too close. Royal Perth 9 is able to force them to tack off. Royal Perth 9 can then bear away, pick up speed and tack onto starboard between both the Seawanhaka boats and the finish line. And with Royal Perth 8 now in front and in good shape, Royal Perth's progression to the line in 1-2 is almost a certainty. As long as Royal Perth 9 controls the right and Royal Perth 8 sails fast, they can't lose this now, and there's a great deal of excitement on the boats as they surge to victory.
Well done. 1 and 2, well done. I think Robbo looked a bit excited.
The Rpyal Perth Yacht Club travelling team racing team of 2015 would like to thank all of the lovely people at the Seawanhaka Corinthian Yacht Club for their friendship and for the welcome they extend to us every time we visit. We look forward to doing the Islands Challenge again and thank everybody who helped us so much on this occasion. We would also like to thank and acknowledge the Rpyal Perth Yacht Club's team racing program for the great opportunities it provides us, both at home and to travel overseas.